throughout the world, there are many issues that women have to deal with because of their gender. The 5 hotspot places today I'm going to talk about are the Middle East, the USA, India, China, and Japan. For India, I'm going to talk about how there is gender-based abuse, even though there are laws against it, child marriages, and human trafficking, and just a lot of, there's a lot of women don't get a very high education. So, basically, the way I think we can solve it, well, some of the ways are, we need to get people to know that women should have higher education because it's known to help with finances for homes and teaching younger children who don't go to school yet, and it generally leads to the expenses in the household being better tracked and making sure everybody has enough money and enough food in the family. The group of people I'm going to talk about who's really good with this is a group called the Gulabi Gang, and they're a group of women who go around all over the country of India wearing pink saris because Gulabi means pink in Hindu, and they go around advocating for more literacy in women. They stop gender. What they do is they stop a lot of things going on. They stop child marriages. They actually carry around bamboo sticks, which they use to beat up men who abuse their wives until they stop beating their wives, which is pretty kind of awesome to me, at least. They just go around trying to advocate for women, and it's a really great thing that they do. Next, we go on to the Middle East, where women have to wear chadors a lot outside in Iran, and in Saudi Arabia there are a lot of laws prohibiting women to do a lot of things, and usually it's said that they must be submissive. In the case of divorce in most Islamic states, your children automatically go to your husband, and there's no say against it really, and there's a minimal education for women, and a lot of it's prevalent in rural communities, but it's still a lot of it is going on in more urban communities. So what we could do for the women is similar for what we could do for the women in India, within having people understand that even though they mostly are going to stay home as mothers because that is what their society tells them they have to do, they should learn how to finance better and read so that they can take care of their families and teach their younger children how to read and how to care for themselves and how to take care of all the home stuff like money management and such things, so that it's just a lot easier for the households to run more smoothly. And Malala is a very big example of that because of what she was doing before she was shot. She was going around and blatantly speaking out against not having women have higher education, and I mean she's young, so the fact that a young girl is going around and saying that is really good, and it will really help them. I believe that people should look back into the Quran, which sometimes is the cause of problems such as being submissive, but sometimes it's not. And I think that perhaps maybe they should take another peek and see that they don't want, God does not want women to be submissive. God wants women to be equal to men. And they should really repeal the Chador law because it was repealed once before, and then once when there was a revolution in Iran again, women were forced to wear it again. But this should be repealed because of how oppressed some women can feel. I mean, some women do like to wear the chador, and so if they really would like to, they should have a choice to wear the chador. But if they would rather wear the niqab or the burqa or the hijab, they should have a say in what Islamic headwear they want to wear to express themselves. In America, we have problems that, like, different society concepts clashing for a woman. Usually, if a woman has a child, she shouldn't be working and she should be staying home with her child and being a homemaker and a stay-at-home mom. But if she has a career, she shouldn't stop because she has a child, because I don't really know. It does not make that much sense to me, because if you're being told to have a family and stay home and be a mother, but you're also being told, whoa, you have a job, why are you going to quit your job to take care of your kids? That's ridiculous. It doesn't really help a woman at all. I mean, it really doesn't. There's no federal law for paid maternity leave, which is a problem because it takes two people to really make a child, so I don't understand why the woman gets all the flack for it, like, oh, you're carrying the child, you are not going to get paid maternity leave to take care of that child for maybe 6 weeks. Wow, your husband is working, or you're not going to get paid for it, which is also ridiculous and really not good. And besides that, women get paid 75 cents for every dollar a man makes, generally. I mean, it's not always the case, but in a good portion of careers it does happen. And that's really just terrible, because we're doing everything a man can do and they're getting paid more than us, which is unfair. So what I think we should do for this is, since 178 other countries worldwide have paid maternity leave, and much longer paid maternity leave than America does, we should start following those plans, because stay-at-home moms do need money. It's not like they just magically do not need money anymore because they've had a child. And it's not really fair to put all the breadwinning on the table for all the men, because they're probably working hard too, but the women are working hard as well. So putting that extra stress on them that they have to continue going to work while the woman has to stay home isn't good. Also, we should even out the payment, so a woman gets $1 for every dollar a man makes, so it just stops being unfair, because that's ridiculous. And we should stop having such high society standards for women all the time, which is really tough, because the standards are ingrained into our minds, which makes it very difficult to change anything about it, really. But it's a thing we shouldn't focus on as much and worry about as much, because everybody's different and you can't make them conform to this mold to do something at all. It's unfair.